Rogel Dorn, the Primarch of the Imperial Fists, is second only to Reboot Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines, in the adoration his name inspires in the masses of the Imperium, and even amongst other chapters he is held in high regard. Dorn remained close to the Emperor's side throughout much of the Great Crusade, and stayed there during the darkest days of the Horus Heresy. Thus it was an especially bitter fate that caused Dorn to become separated from the Emperor when he teleported onto Horus's battle barge to discover his master's body after the duel that ended the heresy was concluded. Rogel Dorn was a warrior of the utmost dedication, and he was known as the most humble and honest of all the Primarchs. Dorn was one of the most long-lived of the Primarchs, but with the death or disappearances of each of his brothers, he grieved more and more. He witnessed the phenomenon of many of the Primarchs coming to be regarded as demigods by the peoples of the Imperium, and spoke out against the practice, proclaiming that the Emperor alone was worthy of such devotion, for each of his sons had failed him in some manner. The Primarch fell in a battle against the forces of Chaos, resisting a Black Crusade. Dorn and 3 companies of the Imperial Fists mounted a masterful series of boarding actions against the Crusade's warships, crippling drives and life support systems, and even capturing weapons batteries and turning them against other Chaos vessels. Eventually, however, the enemy cornered Dorn and his warriors, and he launched a final attack on the bridge of the Chaos flagship. None survived to tell the glorious tale of the Primarch's last stand. The chapter's chief librarian found this Primarch's body on the bridge in a chilling reprise of Dorn's discovery of the wounded Emperor, and bore him away before the stricken flagship escaped back to the infernal depths of the Eye of Terror. Sons of Dorn is a unique demeanor for the Imperial Fists chapter. In temperament, Imperial Fists are driven and focused. They study the tenets of the Codex Astartes with almost as much dedication as the Ultramarines. Yet there are certain passages their very nature makes it hard for them to fully comprehend. Whereas the Codex teaches the wisdom of a tactical redeployment, the Imperial Fists will fight on, all but blind to the consequences. While the Ultramarines might consider this characteristic a weakness, it is nonetheless the root of their selfless devotion to the ideals of their Primarch. When not engaged in battle, the Imperial Fists are often driven to undertake one of several pursuits, or else be consumed by thoughts of potential imperfections or even failures. The same drive that propelled Rogel Dorn to undertake his post-Horus Heresy crusade still slumbers in the hearts of his sons, waiting to emerge in moments of quiet. In order to silence such doubts, the Imperial Fists immerse themselves in the teachings of their Primarch, the histories of their chapter, and the study of the art and science of war. When memories of fallen comrades overtake them, some Imperial Fists indulge in the scrimshawing of their bones, honoring the memory of those long past. When even these pursuits fail to quiet the mind, the Imperial Fists don the pain glove and subject themselves to hours of excruciating nerve pain, emerging hours or even days later cleansed of all doubt and pure of mind. In battle, the Imperial Fists refuse to take a step backwards or admit a foe's superiority. They are not mindless berserkers, however, and remain disciplined and focused regardless of how desperate a situation might become. They quite literally prefer death to the perceived dishonor of admitting the remotest possibility of defeat. When serving in the Deathwatch, this characteristic might very well cause friction with other Space Marines, especially if a kill team leader orders a tactical withdrawal in the face of the enemy. It takes a strong-willed commander indeed to convince an Imperial Fist to withdraw when he sees only dishonor in doing so. The Imperial Fists gain the following benefits: +10 to willpower, the Siege Master solo mode ability, and a change to these implants. The Imperial Fists no longer have a working Belcher's gland, which is what allows for a poisonous bite, or a Sus-An membrane, which is what allows a Space Marine to go into suspended animation in case of extreme trauma. The Siege Master solo mode ability works thusly. When solo mode is on, the Battle Brother is able to locate weak points in the enemy fortifications, as well as strong points in cover he himself is using. When using this ability, the armor points of any cover used by a target he is firing at counts as half their normal value. In addition, the armor points of any cover the Imperial Fist is making use of are doubled, so long as he remains stationary. Well, that's going to be it for my video on the Imperial Fists. Until next time, Thanks for watching.